Hi guys, welcome back to The Last of Us Part 2, but this time on the Remastered, of course. We got a couple of lost levels to check out and some other stuff to check out, like no returns and all that. We all got some interesting stuff. A lot of people are going to be questioning, like, why'd you spend money on this game again when you already played it? Well, I can ask you the same thing about Five Nights at Freddy's. Of why do you think Five Nights at Freddy's is a good movie? I don't know. People do things what people enjoy. That's all I can really say about it. You can't really explain why you enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's. I can't. It's not really helping my case. Point being, I like The Last of Us Part 2. Didn't love it. There's stuff in it I didn't like. I mentioned all that in my walkthrough series, so you guys can go check that out if you haven't already. Played it when it first came out, but yeah. So there's a bunch of new stuff. Like, yeah, we got new returns. Recommend to players who have completed the main story. It did not save my original. Okay, I don't think okay, cool. I don't, thank God. It's like, oh, you only can play this if you complete the game. I really don't want to play the game again. Not that I don't want to. It's more of that's a fucking long-ass game. So we're going to check out some of this new stuff here. Well, there's the guitar free, but where is it? It's in the making of. Oh, here we go. Lost levels. So we're going to check these out. We're going to start with Jackson Party. I'm not going to do all these in one video, but we're going to check out the Jackson Party one first, at least. So let's get into this. This is sort of going to be like a reaction in some form, because we're going to also keep the developer commentary and stuff and all. We're just going to keep all that. So let's get right into this. Okay.
You're about to play an unfinished level from The Last of Us Part 2.
Sick. I wish that they could have intertwined it a little into the main game.
Is there are a few sequences, and we picked the 3 of the best ones that we cut from the game. You know, often we build a game that's much bigger than what ends up being the final product. They're months away from being finished, but we wanted to give you an insight of what it's like when we built a game, because often we have this whole thing constructed and it doesn't have final art or audio or dialogue. And here you get to see the building blocks of what it's like when we first string a bunch of these levels together. This is the intro to the first deleted level, and this one is the roughest of the 3. We wanted to show more of how Jackson operates. So this is the festival where Ellie ultimately kisses Dina. This sequence would have come very late in the game as a flashback sequence while you're in the farm with Dina. And we wanted to show what is the rest of Jackson doing, and wanted to put on the stick, make it interactive. So you could see when you're outside, there are all these almost like carnival games that you can play. You could mix drinks, you could play with these kids that are playing a sort of clicker Marco Polo, sit down and listen to conversations. And all the different interactions were first or second pass, very, very early passes. The building blocks are there, but nothing is final. And ultimately, while we were very excited by this sequence, it's pretty fun and lighthearted. It just slowed things too much as we're barreling towards the end of the story at this point. So again, reminder, rough, missing audio, missing animation, missing gameplay tweaks, missing dialogue, but pretty representative of what it would have been. So enjoy.
All right. So that answers Ellie's long exhaust. What the fuck is what the fuck is wrong with me? Okay. Interesting. They didn't really go in to add in audio. I mean, at least you could have added audio. I understand, like, if like now everything's completed. I guess if they tried to add this into the main story, it would have been considered as a remake, but it's a director's cut, isn't it? Is that what they're sort of going off of calling this? Is a director's cut? So, I mean, they could have done that.
Originally, this level was going to transition us to farm. We would go all the way through to the dance, where Ellie and Dina share their first kiss. Then we would play through farm, and when Ellie plays the guitar at night, she would remember the Seth incident. So, the opening for this was a little tricky. We needed it to match at least a little, what you might expect emotionally coming from prior beats, because we were already purposefully disorienting you in time and space. Remember, you just came from this huge fight. To jump straight into it would have been a little too jarring. After some back and forth, we rooted it in Ellie's nerves, calling back to her hands shaking in the theater. But this time, for a much more innocuous reason we'll find out later. She's nervous because she has a crush on Dina, who is the only reason why she's here at the dance.
I think it could have worked. Because this, what they're saying is that this would have happened after the fight with Abby in the theater. I think this scene could have worked.
Something we really wanted to do was highlight the way their lives had turned upside down since she went down this path. We had this idea of recontextualizing all of our usual gameplay mechanics that were designed for really violent ends. The workbench, door bashes, throwable weapons, and even the infected, which is my personal favorite. Peppered throughout the level are moments of levity or shared history, all the while seeing how happy and mundane they all were before her huge revenge odyssey.
Alright. I'm trying to look at the details, but again, it's unfinished, so I don't know what I'm really trying to look for. Whoa. Oh, door glitching over there. Kids running over there. Oh, there's so many cool areas to go explore. Let's go check out.
The makeup artist is pretty simple. It's one of those little in-game scenes we peppered in to make it feel like Ellie had roots in the town. Hallie, our writer, mentioned that in her mind, an ex-girlfriend of Ellie's tattooed her arm to cover up her scar. So we figured this might be the only time you get to see that. We wanted to hint at it and allude to it and make it feel like there had been so much more that had been happening and so much more that Ellie threw away.
What did you do to my face? Did you put some ointment on it? I'm assuming like if it was fully done, they would have added something to her model at that point. I don't know. Interesting. Honestly, for like a half-rendered level, it still looks pretty decent.
We use our workbench a lot to make a lot of things that kill and maim and hurt people. Here, we had the silly idea of using the same feel, harkening back to the same animations, using the exact same UI to instead fix a drink.
Just cut
the
the line.
workbench, you could pick your base, and then you
Excuse
could
me,
add something
kid.
to it. And at the time, we had some different reactions from Ellie based on how
Oh.
strong you chose to make the drink. Something we wanted to prototype though, before it got cut, was picking up some ingredients around to add, like a lime or maybe a bottle of someone's favorite whiskey or salt.
I'm not done
Like
yet.
you were earning upgrades. We also toyed with having Ellie carry
Did
around
I-
the drink
can I only
you
do
made
it
and
once?
occasionally
Oh.
sip it, psyching herself up to go talk to Dina inside because she's nervous. It got too noodly though, because she would need to keep placing it somewhere before she did anything. So it would have ended up more trouble than it was worth.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish that we got more in The Last of Us Part 2 is more of that lesbian talk between between Ellie and Dina, because it stops after a certain point in the game, and it's like Dina's just there, and we don't really learn any more about it. So I feel like this level could have done something with it. I feel like they just felt like cutting it. They were just second guessing themselves for not very much of a reason. I don't know. I wasn't there. I feel like, but if I'm like me picturing this after fighting Abby, because we go to a farm sequence anyway. We go to with Ellie in the farm, and so it's already abrupt. It's sort of like a very as abrupt thing. So I feel like this would make sense to have in anyways if you're gonna cut to something's more calm anyways. Oh, oh, okay.
This is one of my favorite sections because I think that it achieves both the slice of life aspect of Jackson while also being a stark reminder of how dark the world that they live in really, really is. To attract attention and curiosity, one of the kids was supposed to make this adorable, messed up little clicker impression, and the others would giggle. We tried a version where if you got close enough, the kid might try and follow you a little before turning back. Since clickers are blind and move by echolocation, for this game of messed up tag, Ellie must close her eyes and listen for when the children give themselves away. The thought was that these kids are in relative safety.
Oh
They
no!
still grow up with the
Get
danger
off of me, you little
clickers
rats!
and runners, and all those lessons would embed themselves in the games that they play.
You're in the
When
freaking
festival
ice
got
cooler
cut,
right
they
there.
tried to preserve this moment and move it to the front of the game
Oh, wait,
where the
I wanna
snowball
play
fight
again.
is, as a tutorial. However, being in the headspace of a clicker doesn't really teach
Oh,
you
okay.
how to
I only
deal
get to
with
do it
death.
once. That sucks.
Eventually, it evolved, and they instead made the snowball fight, which was, I think, way more effective. For me, it's character illuminating that not only does Ellie know this game, she plays along. There's a familiarity with the kids that's really nice to see, especially because it's such a difference from the Ellie we see later, who has a sort of hollow normalcy that she's trying to get with JJ, but kind of fails.
What are we doing here? What is this? Oh, okay, it's just a spot that we could sit. Alright, not too bad, I guess. Seems like there's a talking spot over here. I don't know, there's one back over there. Alright, well, let's go do this one, and next we'll head back in that direction.
There's a hidden spot at the back.
Oh no, I
was
already
just a bit
found
of
him.
fun.
What?
It was highlighting Jackson's
Then what the hell is that one over there?
something we would find in a real world. In the back, you would find teenagers finding some alone time with each other in a dark corner of a party. It was rewarding the player for peeking
you guys
into
come
the hidden
from?
corner, but ultimately redirecting them back to the festival. We also had versions of them smoking weed here, despite Maria's consternation, probably having gotten it from Eugene.
Yeah, see, like, all of these ones are done. Did I ever do this one? No, I did not. Why is it saying...
It is not a festival without one of these throwing games.
the
This
fuck?
one, of course, uses our throwable system where you're often chucking explosive things or stunning things, but for a more wholesome purpose, although some people take this game really seriously. A fun aspect of this is if you did well, you could
Yeah,
win a
it's
toy
7.
here. Ellie would place it in her pocket. If you had done this, you'd find the toy with JJ, the baby, later back at the farm. When we cut this, the toy made it through anyway because it was so cute. It is the same one you see on the tractor at the farm. Ollie the elephant.
I did it. Can I have a toy? No? Alright, well, fuck you. So, there's one for 3 out of 7. Is that just throughout all the levels? Or is there, like, secret ones somewhere? Interesting. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that they, even though they took stuff out, they still kept some of that stuff in as like little Easter eggs. That's kind of cool. What's up? No dialogue, silent language. That's cool. It's very awkward, not gonna lie. Ugh. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Alrighty then. So that is Jackson's party. Up next would be the Seattle Sewers, which we'll do all these in their own episodes. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to knock all of these out in one video, but I just don't have the time to do all of these, to be honest. And next after that will be the hunt. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. There's nothing really goes on in these upcoming videos, to be honest. When it comes to The Last of Us Remastered. If you guys want to see me play The Last of Us, I already have a playthrough series. You guys can go check that out if you really want to. This is just a little extra content, a little extra stuff for the ones that really enjoyed the game and don't have a PS5, so they can't play it. So, and you guys want to get that backstory and those Easter eggs and all those extra little things if you guys really want to check the game out for yourselves. But yeah, well, if you guys want to see more of this, even check out No Returns, we'll do that. Let me know by dropping a like, subscribing if you're new, and like always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.